Assalamu alaikum dear students. I Aqeel Abbas, lecturer in English at Govt Postgraduate College Bhakkar, Pakistan, welcome you to my English class. This class is designed for BS students, BS University of Srigoda students, and we were studying comprehension skills. And the topic for discussion which we left yesterday was reading strategies. We were studying the reading strategies, and today we have to study the first reading strategy, and the name of this reading strategy is SQ3R method. So it is a very important lecture because you can have a lot of short questions from this lecture, and this SQ3R method can also be asked as a long question. So you should listen carefully, and you should also take some notes. So let us start our lecture. First of all, the first short question which they can ask you is, what is SQ3R method? Or what does SQ3R method stand for? SQ3R or SQ3R is a reading comprehension method named for its 5 steps. Those 5 steps are survey, question, read, recite, and review. You will have to name all of these. First one is survey, second one is question. S means survey, Q means question, 3R. First R means read, second R means recite, and third R means review. Listen once again. SQ3R or SQ3R is a reading comprehension method named for its 5 steps. These steps are survey, question, read, recite, and review. And this is a very good method if you want to read any textbook and you want to comprehend it in a good way. The second question that they can ask you in short questions, 2 marks question, it is, who introduced SQ3R method, or when did he introduce this method? The answer is, the method was introduced by Francis P. Robinson. The method was introduced by Francis P. Robinson. He was an American education philosopher and he put forward this method in his 1946 book, Effective Study. Effective Study was the book written by Francis P. Robinson, and he wrote this book in 1946. In this book, he put forward the idea, he told us about the method of SQ3R. And this method offers, as far as this method is concerned, SQ3R method, it offers a more efficient and active approach to reading textbook material. It was created for college students, but it is very useful for any student, any reader. Classrooms all over the world have begun using this method to better understand what they are reading. So let us discuss each and every point of this process, this method. What is this process of survey, question, read, recite, and review? First one is survey. The first step, survey or skim. Skim means taking important things. Advises that one should resist the temptation to read the book and instead first go through a chapter and note the headings, subheadings, and other outstanding features such as figures, tables, marginal information, and summary paragraphs. You are going to read a chapter, so do not start right off. Rather, first of all, you should look at the pictures given in it, the tables given in it, the facts and figures that are prominent. You should take a bird's eye view of those things first, and after that you can study. This survey step typically only takes 3 to 5 minutes, but it provides an outline or framework for what will be presented in this chapter. The reader should identify ideas and formulate questions about the content of the chapter. When you do this survey, you get a lot of questions in your mind, and when you start reading, you will answer those questions and you will better understand the text. So the next step is question. You generate questions about the content of the reading. It is the second step. For example, convert headings and subheadings into questions. There are a lot of headings and subheadings in the text, that in the chapter that you are about to read. You can change them into questions, and then you can look for answers in the context of the text. Other more general questions may also be formulated, like what is this chapter about? What question in this chapter is this chapter trying to answer? How does this information help me? So you can have these questions before starting to read. The third step is read. There are 3 R's, SQ3R method. First R means read. Use the background work done with S and Q in order to begin reading actively. If you want to read actively, you should first of all survey, then have some questions about that chapter, about that book, and then you can read actively. This means reading in order to answer the questions raised under Q, questions, and survey. You took a survey, you got some questions, now you are reading, and you are reading because you have some questions in your mind and you want the answers of those questions. Passive reading, in contrast, results in merely reading without engaging with the study material. If you are reading passively, you haven't done any survey, you haven't got any questions before starting to read, you are reading passively, and you are not totally engaging with the study material. The fourth step is recite or retrieve. The second R refers to the part known as retrieve, recite. The reader should try to retrieve from memory what was learned in the same manner as telling someone else about the information. Okay, you got a survey, you got questions, you read the book, now you are reciting as if you are telling the story to someone else. Okay, when you will do it, it will stay in your memory for a lot of time. You will better understand this. It is important that the reader use his or her own words to in order to formulate and conceptualize the material. Try recalling and identifying major points, headings, subheadings, and answer to questions from the question step. This recital step may be done either in an oral or written format. You can speak out in loud tone whatever you read. You can tell somebody else, or you can even write, you can take notes about whatever you read. This is what we mean by recite. Okay, and it is related to the benefits of retrieval in boosting long-term memory for the material. You will do it, you will have a long-term memory about whatever you read, and it will be in your mind for a long time, and it will always be beneficial for you. The last step for this process of SQ3R method, it is called review. It is the third R. The final R is review. Once you reach the end of the passage, review the material by repeating back to yourself what the point of the passage is using your own words. You may then repeat the process on the second set of questions. you did the you went through the above 4 steps: survey, question, read, recite. Now once again you are going to review whatever you did today, whatever you got in your mind, what are the new things that you have learned. And this was the last step. You do all these steps of SQ3R method, you will understand better, you will keep things in your mind. The students in most of the universities are asked to get engaged in this method. The students in Pakistan, they should also try to focus on this method. And whether you do it or not, you will have to do it for your BS course 5102. I hope that you understood today's lecture and it was informative for you. I will talk to you tomorrow, God willingly, with the second lecture about reading strategies. Thanks for listening. Have a good day. Assalamu alaikum.